Week 10, the NFL, November, maybe a little cool weather in the air. Man, it's football season. The playoffs are starting to get some form, starting to get some shape. How did your NFL team do? We're going to go all the way around the league right here on the Morning Juice. Welcome into the Morning Juice, man. It's your headquarters for talking all NFL football, going all the way around the league, talking about your football team. And my name is Keith Brugman. I'm one of the hosts, but I'm telling you, the man of the hour, the guy who puts this thing all together, got to give it up for Mr. Kenny Kirkpatrick. Welcome to the show, Kenny. Wish we were talking a little bit better about your team this Monday morning, man.
Thank you, Keith. Yeah, if my team was doing better, I may not be as productive with the around the league. But nah, kidding. Love doing this each and every week with you guys, and especially you, Keith. And week 10 already. I can't believe it. Weather has changed, like you said in the intro. It's in the 30s here in Maryland, and we're expecting below freezing tonight. So that means one thing. The holidays are right around the corner, the winter holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas. And like always, I always like to cheers everybody with a morning beverage. And today it's the classic old eggnog, Keith. If the holidays are near, we're going to do a little eggnog. I've seen them in the stores, and I said, I got to get it. Take advantage. If you love eggnog, take advantage of it now because it only lasts till Christmas. So I got a nice little glass of eggnog to say, juice it up, everyone, and let's have a fun show.
Wow, man, breaking out the eggnog early. The pumpkin spice is already put to bed for Kenny Kirkpatrick, rushing right into the eggnog. You know me, Lion coffee, a little toast of coconut, splash of bourbon. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. I just joke. A little early, 7 a.m. out here. I thought that'd be funny, but hopefully no one took that seriously. No, if you haven't checked out Lion Coffee, I'm a fantastic. I love fantastic coffee. I've drank coffee for too many years. By the way, it doesn't stunt your growth. I'm 6 foot. And that being said, head on over to lioncoffee.com if you get a chance. Unofficial sponsor of the show. We'll talk about our official sponsor, Morgan Trinkets, by the end. But Kenny, love my coffee. Love NFL football. It was a fantastic week of football, man. There were some performances out there. Might as well get it started off. I'm going to talk about Thursday night football, my Denver Broncos, just a little bit. We had our post-game reaction. We had a pretty active chat. Hopefully I'll be able to see Kurt Valente here in the comments because he wasn't too happy. He was fired up and didn't like what I had to say in the chat. That being said, this is what I'll say. This Denver Broncos defense continues to carry this team. This Denver Broncos team sit at 8-2. They've got a lot of things to figure out on offense, and the narrative is out there, and you can hear it. You heard it between Thursday and Sunday. Let's just put it that way. You heard a lot of it here across the landscape of the NFL. Bo Nix, Sean Payton, they need to figure things out. I'll say this. They're 8-2. They're tied with the best record in the NFL, and they control their own destiny, especially with the games they have moving forward. Go get it done. Just go get it done. If you continue to do what you've done, no matter how you've done it, we're good, buddy. We're good because we're 8-2 right now.
Yeah. I'll get to a couple people in a second before we get to the next game, Keith. Yeah, I mean, you find ways to win. Good teams find ways to win. Bad teams find ways to lose. And you know, in between, you had some upsets. We're going to get into the games around the league this week. But for the Broncos, this defense is elite. And I made a bold statement and said, this defense might be the best defense. I said this on Denver Bronco Roundups chat. This might be the best defense I've seen since the 2001 Ravens.
Yep.
You don't see teams giving up 7 points a game and not just one fluke game. I mean, Broncos have been under 20 in how many games this year?
Yeah.
You know, I think the one game, which drives me nuts as a Giants fan, I think the one game where the Broncos defense was exposed a little bit was with Jackson Dart and the Giants offense. True. Other than that, everybody else has been under that. So take the win however you can get it. You know, I'm not worried at all. Defense is winning games and the offense is doing enough. Hey, you know what? Coaches think crazy. Maybe, you know, Raiders are a bottom team. Maybe Sean Payton's playbook that he has, maybe that was just a lot of, you know, what's on the menu in this restaurant, what's on the menu in this. And he only had 10 plays set for that Raiders game. Expect a lot of big time offensive plays, play calls on Sunday versus the Chiefs this upcoming Sunday, because I know that playbook's going to be opened up. And I think they just held back because of their opponent. They didn't want to show too much.
Yeah, I think they held back maybe a little bit with their opponent. I think the short week also kind of, you know, made that a different game plan heading versus the Las Vegas Raiders, heading into that matchup versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Like I said, I'm not going to dwell on it a whole lot because we talked about it a ton. We want to get to all these games. I'll just say the Broncos defense, like you said, very elite. They're going to carry this team, I think, for the most part throughout whatever run they have. It's up to the offense now to get things clicking if they really want to pour it on and be a true elite team within the NFL rankings, I guess is the best way to put it. Checking in with our good fans and our friends to come in here on the Morning Juice, like
it's
Ernie
Juicers,
Mays.
By the way, it's the Juicers on
the Juicers. That's right.
We got our Juicers in the audience.
The Juicers coming in. Go Broncos country only. My team won Thursday. Hello, Keith and Kenny K. That's Mr. Ernie Mays coming in.
Hello, Ernie.
Over on the Rocky Mountain Sports Network Facebook page. Good to see you, my friend. Mr. Michael Ronquillo coming in and says, good morning, Keith and Kenny on the Morning Juice. Go Bo Broncos. Want to see a little bit more of that, Bo.
There, Keith. That's with 100 stars. Thank you, Michael.
Ernie, I'll give you a mile high salute.
Everybody else, I'm going to throw a little juice eggnog toast for y'all.
There you are. There you are. No, orange and blue hearts. I'll give you that mile high salute as my Broncos background is up here. Michael, thank you so much for supporting everything we do, including the Morning Juice. You are truly a juicer as well, man. The Bills losing was good, says Mr. Paul Schaefer. Of course, he's a Broncos fan as well. Good to see you, Paul. Michael Ronquillo also saying the Broncos are number 2 in the AFC NFL playoff seating currently. And hey, like I said, control their own destiny, buddy. Control their own destiny. We'll talk more about the Broncos maybe throughout the show, but certainly as we get into the rest of the week, even though it is a bye week, we'll talk some Broncos. Good morning, guys. Concerned about Jackson Dart. Evaluated for a concussion now. Kenny,
4 concussions. 4.
For 4 concussions now. Oh, I see what he's saying. I thought he was like, you know, doing 4 in 2 different ways. But yeah, 4th concussion because I forget about his college career in which he didn't learn to slide. Kenny, might as well break right into it, man. Let's break into this Giants game. And there's a lot that we want to unpack on this. And it's your football team as well, man. I know that you are passionate about this game and Jackson Dart and everything that's happening with their team.
Sure. And then we'll get to more comments in a minute, but I do want to say hello to Paul, Karen, and Martin as well. We'll get their comments in a second, Keith. I'm going to do this short because if you want to listen to a fired up show, come hang out with Paul, my co-host Paul on New York Giants football talk tonight. We do a Giants show. And for those Giant fans or NFL football fans, come see 2 fired up fans and hosts tonight. Deja vu. It was Groundhog Day all over again. Giants come out three and a half quarters, almost 3 3/4 of this game and outplay the Chicago Bears on the road. Cold weather, flurries the whole game. End result, just like the Broncos, we blow it in the end. 4th and 1, questionable. Brian Dable from the 1-yard line kicks a field goal. 12 men on the field, half-yard line. Still kick the field goal. You're up now 10 points with 3:58 left. We all know the end result. Bears come back and beat the Giants. Giants fall to 2-8. The story here is Jackson Dart goes out with a concussion. And Keith, we're going to do it right now. I said there was 2 stories I wanted to hit. Jackson Dart. And by the way, this is also Toasted segment as well. We're going to get Brian Dable. I'll do that at the end. Brian Dable right there. Going to get to that. We'll do that now. Brian Dable's Toasted is the toast that was left in the toaster and you can't get it out for hours and hours and hours. His toast is completely black. Nowhere around it. Uneatable slice of toast. He's got to go. And it's got to be maybe as soon as today. You might hear some news that he is gone. The mistakes he's making, but the problem I have with Brian Dable is his quarterback. He tells his quarterback, I hear this in the broadcast from Greg Olson. Brian Dable's okay with Jackson Dart not sliding on 3rd downs. You're giving yourself up. This kid's going to get hurt. Seriously, you're worried about your career over your player, your rookie, in my opinion, because you know you're on the hot seat. He goes down with a concussion, and somebody, Keith, juicers, somebody needs to be held accountable, whether it's Brian Dable, the Giants medical staff, the referees, the NFL. Jackson Dart, when he fumbled, I don't know if anybody's seen the game. Jackson Dart runs the ball. You've seen the highlights. He goes down. He sat down on that field for almost 10 seconds before he got up. Comes back and plays a full series. They come back from commercial on the next series, and Russell Wilson's in the game. That's where I have the problem. Nobody evaluated him for a concussion when he got hit, and they let him play another series. Somebody needs to be held accountable, whether it's the coach, the medical staff, all of the above, referees, NFL. Because you're playing with somebody's career now and a young man at that. And I take concussions very seriously. I had a friend who played in the NFL. Those that are a little older, like myself, you might know him. Wayne Corbett, jet receiver. Many concussions back in the day. They did not have the concussion protocols like they have now. Protect this kid, or his career is going to be cut short. I'm very upset. And somebody needs to be held accountable because, this is like Graham said, 4 concussions now. But this one, they didn't even put him in the tent. And this one, I knew from the start he was hurt. And he didn't go in the tent right away, as opposed to the other ones.
Yeah, it was interesting watching that replay, Kenny, because, he goes down, at first it looks like disappointment, but 10 seconds on the field, the guys upstairs is the guys that I would call out first and foremost. These guys call down and they'll pull a guy out for almost any particular reason. Hey, we didn't like the way that guy got hit. He's in the huddle. It doesn't matter. We're pulling that guy out. He needs to go in and, get looked at and go through the protocol. Player, coaches, medical staff, possibly, but I'll be honest, it's really about that interaction that you get with Jackson Dart once he comes to the sideline. And if you feel like he's pretty good, then you're probably not getting involved. But like I said, when the call comes down from up above, you have no choice. You go in the tent, you go through the tests. And that probably would have saved him from that series. You're right, man. Need to be taking care of these young players that are supposed to be the future of your franchise. Be interesting, man. Big call out saying we could hear something as early as today on Brian Dable. But you mentioned it before. We need to get to the chat. We need to talk to our juicers. Karen, hopefully you're still out there just checking in before I head out for that work thingy. Good morning. Good to see you,
Good morning,
Karen. good to see you over on YouTube. Thanks for the support of the show. Martin's coming in and saying the Bills wish they could have woke up this morning with an ugly win instead of an ugly upset. We'll get to that as we go around the league, but good to see you, Martin. Good to see. Was there anybody else that we need to say hello to? I thought you said
Did we
like
say
3
hello
names.
to Paul? Did we say
Did we
hello
say
to Paul?
hello to Paul? If we didn't, he did say I wanted to hit your Giants to beat the stinking Bears. Yeah, it was a heck of a comeback. Once again, Caleb Williams probably with one of his better performances and more reminiscent of what we saw at maybe USC than anything we've seen from him in recent games or in his NFL career as far as I'm concerned. Yay! Still here, says Karen. Good to see you. That's because the Giants coach were already fired for the same thingy. That's because the Giants and coach were already fired for the same thing. Not sure what we're talking. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, it'll be interesting. It's interesting. It's supposed to be the savior, Mr. Brian Dable, at one point. Now he's got the decision of what quarterback he's going to go with. He's not alluding to where he wants to go there. Things are a lot up in the air. Check out Kenny Kirkpatrick. Check out Mr. Paul Rosen as we talk Giants this evening, 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. What does that make it? About 7 o'clock your time?
7 on the East Coast, yes.
There you go, man. All right. What do you think, man? Continue to go around the league. We'll just start off, man. Berlin got a game, buddy, and it was a pretty good one, man. Honestly, not all these across seas games are the best, but I guess if the fans aren't as knowledgeable about the game, maybe those are the games you want to put over in London or England or wherever it happens to be. This one was in Berlin, though. Falcons and Colts, and another one where, man, it was almost in the grasp of the Falcons, and then it fell away, Kenny. It fell away, and the Colts ended up getting the win.
Yeah, Colts pulled a win in Berlin. I did not watch this game as I worked the night before. I couldn't tried to stay up a little bit, couldn't do it. 31-25, the Colts win this game to improve to 8-2. The Falcons dropped to 3-6. Daniel Jones, 19 for 26 with a touchdown. But the story here, and I said this, Jonathan Taylor has to be the guy going forward. Run the ball with Jonathan Taylor, make Daniel Jones make a few plays, be a game manager type quarterback. This is going to be the recipe for success. Jonathan Taylor, 22 rushes, 244 yards, 3 touchdowns. Another toasted coach here, in my opinion. And our theme this week on the Toasted is head coaches. Raheem Morris, Atlanta Falcons, 3-6. Team that I thought was going to be, a contender for the NFC South for sure. Fall to 3-6, and his toast is starting to burn a little bit. It's not black. It's not, it's just starting to get a little bit on the toasted side there. So we're going to say he's on the hot seat a little bit, and if he continues to lose, I think the Falcons could be a promising job for somebody with all those offensive weapons over there with Bijan Robinson, Drake London, the young defense that they drafted could be a promising job for somebody, and a job to watch out for in the future when we look for new head coaches. This could be a popular one.
I agree with you here. I'm going to be honest. I think it's a little hotter than what you think. I think the toast has been in the toaster a little bit longer, and it's a little bit darker, and it's, I'm not going to – I put it right up there with Brian Dable at this point. Wow. This is a team that literally is just they were terrible last year. You come back. Okay, Michael Penix is your guy this year. You're terrible again this year. You're losing games at the end. It just never ends for this team and this regime, and I think at some point you need to call it a change. So yeah, I'm 100% agreeing with you. Maybe you don't overreact as much because it's the Colts, and the Colts have been on a tear. Outside of last week where Daniel Jones became Danny Dimes of of years past. This team has been probably one of the more prolific teams out there. Jonathan Taylor is having an MVP season, says Martin. If he keeps it up like this, the Colts will make some noise in the playoffs. Yeah, they'll make noise in the playoffs. They obviously made a lot of noise over in Berlin with the comeback. And, for me, yeah, it's tough. I mean, here's a division where you're behind the Panthers and Bryce Young, let alone the Buccaneers, who are once again owning that division, I guess, if you could say so, at 6-3. I mean, you're looking out for the Saints coming up behind you now that got to win as well, and you're only a game ahead of them. I mean, that's where you're at, and that's the truth of it. So, yeah, I'd put Raheem Morris up there just a little bit higher as far as the hot seat is concerned. Let's head on over to an early game, Browns versus Jets. I didn't necessarily. I took all these scores directly as they came off of the list. Kenny, I didn't realize I'd be putting these back to back to back as far as another list is concerned. Browns versus Jets. The Jets end up winning this one. I mean, here's a team that was absolutely taken apart. Sauce Gardner, sure, you're out the door. Top defensive lineman, sure, you're out the door. Cash it in, it's done. Season's over. Heck, even Garrett Wilson ended up coming up lame in this game at one point too. So, I mean, it's just no possibility of coming in even against the Browns and winning, and they do it, man. They do it. They pull out a victory. Browns lose 20-27 to the Jets at home. Kenny, want to talk about it?
Yeah, and I think, for those who don't know, former Jet Nick Mangold passed away way too young a couple weeks ago from kidney disease, and they held celebration for him before the game. The family was there, kids, very very emotional pregame for the Jets, and congrats to them and hats off to the Jets for pulling off this win first and foremost. Some stats that stood out to me on the Jets side: Justin Fields, 6 for 11, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. 11 attempts in this game. 11 attempps. Dylan
Get it done however you need to, buddy.
17 for 32 for Gabriel. Broncos friends. A former friend of the Broncos, Jerry Jeudy, leads for the Broncos with 78 in the touchdown. But the Jets did what they needed to do. 6 for 11, Justin Fields. He did have Breece Hall goes for 83 and 42 on 1 catch for a touchdown. So Breece Hall, the difference maker here, as the Jets get 2 in a row after all those trades, and maybe a little backfire in their in trading all these guys, because it looks like they may be in a tank mode to try and get near the top of that draft. And now it's going to be a big, big cluster of teams fighting for that first pick in the draft. But on Nick Mangold, little celebration before his life before the game. Hats off to the Jets. They get 2 in a row, and things are looking, maybe in the right direction with all those picks they got coming up in the next 2 years.
Yeah, start rattling off wins. I kind of will maybe foul up some issues, but a little bit of spark of life in the Jets, and it was like you said, emotional pregame. I think if you've watched NFL enough, we've all had one of these at some point or another, as players pass on for one reason or another. So yeah, it can fire up your team. Jets came out. Browns though. Browns are a mess, Kenny.
Yeah, and and my last toasted coach, who I think could be on the hot seat, Kevin Stefanski. But I think this guy will find another job ASAP. I just don't think the Browns is the fit for him. And his toast is probably about as brown as, not super dark, not the black, probably like his hat and shirt color there, that color on the toast, because they may keep him because I like him as a coach. I just think it's a bad fit for what they're doing over there. They need a quarterback in the worst way, and they're not getting this guy a quarterback. And that's been the Browns story for gosh, what, 30 years now, since Bernie Kosar.
Pretty
And
Kosar, yeah.
they haven't had a quarterback. So I think this guy, Kevin Stefanski, if he does get released by the Browns the end of the year, he will find another job really soon. And I think he'll have some success wherever he goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Rest in peace, Nick McMangle, says Mr. Graham. Appreciate that. We need to acknowledge those that are passed, especially way too early. But yeah, this Browns team in general, let's face it, they're kind of a disaster. They once had Baker Mayfield in there. That was probably their best chance at getting rid of that list of quarterbacks that are on the back of some people's jerseys. But we might have yet another change in the future. I mean, I don't know how long you continue with Dylan Gabriel too and continue to lose games. I know there's a lot of pressure there for Shedeur Sanders and his opportunity as well. It's just a mess. Obviously Deshaun Watson could be actually healthy here pretty soon. I mean, but I don't think you dare bring him back. Just a mess. And unfortunately, like you said, I think Stefanski or whatever head coach kind of gets, caught up in the wash, when it comes to that. All right, Kenny, continue to break down these games, man. It's we'll have to maybe pick up the pace a little bit.
Yeah.
Saints and Panthers. I just got done talking about these two games as we end up talking about the NFC South, and the Saints and Tyler Shuck come out there and he gets his first victory as a Saint. Not an impressive overall performance all the way across the board, but hey, getting it done is getting it done. The Saints take care of the who knows what they are, Carolina Panthers, from week to week. 17-7 in this matchup. Saints go on the road and get the win.
Yeah, up one for 27, 2 touchdowns, solid day. Chris Olave says, "Thank you for not trading me. I'll reward you, Saint fans." 5 for 104. And, he stays in New Orleans. And Saints, again, that cluster, Tyler Shuck says, no, I'm going to be the quarterback next year for the Saints. He gets his first win and second start, improved to 2-8. Panthers, big loss for them as they're fighting, one of the surprise teams in the NFC in NFL this year. Bryce Young back to his old ways, 124 yards, interception. Rico Dodley finally gets shut down a little bit, 53 yards with a touchdown. They fall to 5-5 here, still in the race with the in the NFC South, with the other teams struggling a little bit. So they're still got a chance.
Yeah, it was a huge game for them because we'll fast forward right to it, man. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New England Patriots. Buccaneers at home. Baker Mayfield, all the magic, had the opportunity even for a little bit of magic, I think, as well, but fall short to the surprising, leaders of the NFL. Drake May and New England Patriots sitting there at 8-2 now, but the Buccaneers, they fall to 6-3. The Panthers, of course, we just got done talking to them. They're at 5-5. Like I said, opportunity for the Panthers is that division's not necessarily sorted out. But boy, oh boy, when it comes to the AFC East, look at the Patriots, my friend.
Yeah. One of the running backs, when we did our pickers in draft show, that we were talking about the Broncos. First round too high for him to take. A lot of us said no. Trevion Henderson, 14 for 147, 2 touchdowns yesterday. Had a first round performance yesterday. And the Patriots, like you said, they improved to 8-2, 7-2 rather. No, I'm sorry, it is 8-2. They didn't have their bye yet. Buccaneers fall to 6-3. May is doing it all around. Yesterday's top receiver was Mac Hollins, 106 yards on 6 catches. So he's making all his receivers look good. MVP sleeper. If you when you say MVP of the league, look at the odds for those sports wagering fans. Maybe put a couple dollars. We call it pizza money on Drake May. Baker Mayfield in a losing effort. Not his fault. 27 for 43, 273, 3 touchdowns. Talk about rookie of the year with Jackson Dart out now. Mecca Ibuka, 6 for 105 with a touchdown. So he's having his, solid season continues with Baker Mayfield and taking advantage of those receivers being out for Tampa. But Patriots 8-2 and showing no signs of slowing down. So Mike Vrabel, coach of the year, Patriots, watch out.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And like you said, Travion Henderson kind of has his breakout performance in this game, shows why he should be selected very high. I was watching a little NFL this morning, and they were like, Emeka Ibuka, they're like, why do you take a wide receiver in the first round? That's why. That's why you take a wide receiver in the first round, just having a phenomenal rookie year with Baker Mayfield down there. But it wasn't enough, man. Drake May, this Patriots team, continue to find ways, roll off wins, and really dominate in the AFC. You know what I mean? It's just shocking to me, Kenny. What a turnaround a coach and a season can make for this team. So hats off to the Patriots.
Sorry, Keith. No, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying hats off to the Patriots, my friend.
I was going to say Martin's got a good comment I like with Cleveland. You say it. Cleveland has been a bad organization since they came back into the league. We have to remember they're not the real Browns. The real Browns are the Ravens. I thought I had it bad as a Giants fan. Can you imagine being a true old-timer Browns fan? Not like the new generation, young generation, because they didn't see the old Browns. But imagine the older generation, Martin and everybody, and Keith, being a Browns fan. They move and watching that team be good every year. You can't get it right in Cleveland when you had it right. But because they're just in a different town now, and now you haven't been able to get it back. That's worse than being any other football fan, I think, in the NFL. In my opinion.
The truth? Ain't that the truth,
nice,
man?
Good point there, Martin. Love it.
Yeah, fantastic. A little bit of NFL history. I think a lot of people, kind of forget about or don't even know about, man. So thanks for bringing that up, Martin. That's a great point. That's a fantastic point. Drake May, Daniel Jones, and Herbert all showed toughness as they got beat to shreds. Lots of hits going out there, man. Defense is getting after it this year for a few different teams. Got to give it up to Graham, though. He says, just liked this live on YouTube and had a football emoji. Everyone, make sure to hit that like button. Man, Graham, appreciate all the love. Very, very much, man. We do appreciate every like, love, share, subscribe that you can possibly do. We're on YouTube, and we're on Facebook, and we're on Apple Podcast, and we're on Spotify. So, hey, if you're out there, you like what you're hearing, you want to hear more, you don't want to miss out, make sure that you're doing everything necessary. It really does make a big difference, and it helps kind of hit the algorithm and maybe get a few more of our fans involved, a few more of your friends and your fans involved as well. Also, this is a great time to just talk about, go ahead, buddy.
Most important thing, it's free, everybody. Just a click of a button.
That's true. Just a little bit of energy. Just there you are. You're all done. I want to talk about Morgan Trinkets. Morgan Trinkets does support every one of our shows. They are your headquarters for Southwest Jewelry, Southwest Pottery, Estate Gold at wholesale prices. They've done it for over 34 years, so they know how to do it and what you want and the deals to get it done. Check them out over on Etsy by typing in Morgan Trinkets Co. That's Morgan Trinkets Co. Or you can head on over to eBay and type in Pearl Heat. Pearl Heat is short for Pearl Heater, the owner of Morgan Trinkets. Like I said, Southwest Jewelry, Southwest Pottery, Estate Gold at wholesale prices. They also deal with silver, sterling silver, 100% sterling silver as well. Holidays are right around the corner. Don't want to miss out. Morgan Trinkets Co. on Etsy, Pearl Heat over on eBay. Check them out today. They'll get you taken care of. Kenny, let's continue through these games, man.
Yeah, I'm going to breeze through a couple of these. I'm looking at what's left here. We'll get through a couple of these really quick.
Yeah. Oops, I didn't mean to hide that at all. Next ones that I had on the docket though are Ravens Vikings, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
Raven. We'll just go as the ticker goes down below here. Ravens versus Vikings, man. They've been talking about it, man. Especially in that division. Ravens are starting to make a little bit of a charge. They're starting to run into a easier part of their schedule. They're getting healthy as they get Lamar Jackson back. And the Vikings, even though they host that home game, it seemed like it was a competitive game, but they weren't able to pull it out in the end. Ravens end up winning 27-19 over the Minnesota Vikings.
yeah. Ravens improved to 4-5. If you're gonna have injuries, have them at the beginning of the season in the early part, and that's what the Ravens look like they had last week on my other podcast. We did division leaders. Are they going to finish? And I said no. In this division, the Ravens are gonna win this AFC North, even though they're 2 games behind the Steelers. They're gonna win this North. Lamar Jackson's back. And hey, Lamar Jackson didn't have a barn burner game. 176 yards and a touchdown, 36 on the ground. Derrick Henry had 75 yards, but McCarthy throws 2 interceptions on the Ravens side of the field, on their own side of the field, I should say. Short field for the Ravens to take over. That's the difference. Jalen Naylor on the Vikings, though, 124 yards in this losing effort with a touchdown. So they kept Justin Jefferson intact, let somebody else beat them, and they couldn't do it. Ravens get a big win on the road to improve to 4-5. Vikings fall to 4-5.
Yeah, big win. Like I said, I'm right there with you. Watch out for the Baltimore Ravens, especially with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They had the easy part of their schedule at the very beginning. Now they're hitting their tougher part. Well, I'm sure we'll get to them in just a moment. But I'm going to get into the chat and say aloha to Mr. Patrick Wiltsey, saying aloha juicers and posse. If you don't know, check out the Denver Bronco Roundup. That's what we call our chat members over there. And great game, Texans and Jags. He says we'll get to those are 2 games. That's a game or 2 that we haven't got to as of yet. So that'll be fun, man. Good to see you, Mr. Patrick Wiltsey, and aloha to you.
Patrick. Early in the morning out there. Thank you for hanging out with us this early in the morning. Just realized that, Patrick.
Yeah.
Appreciate you hanging out this early in the morning.
I don't know how long he's going to have to wait for the sun. He is in Hawaii, so probably a little bit earlier than we think. But that being said, man, thank you so much for chiming in and being a part of the show, buddy. Always good to see you. And check out Lion Coffee. Patrick will end up shipping out that package for you. Kenny, next one, man. Bills versus the Dolphins. Hey, I mean, if we were going to do an untoasted, it's like Mike McDaniel went from being on the beach every single day to like being in seclusion, locked in in a room with no windows. He went from being toasted on the beach to maybe a little untoasted, man. 13-30, the Dolphins take care of business at home. Holy cow, buddy.
Yeah, no kidding. And again, only one trade I think the Dolphins made, and that was letting Jalen Phillips go, but they keep everybody else. The difference maker here was Devin Achane, the running back for the Dolphins. If it wasn't for Jonathan Taylor, we'd be talking about this performance. 22 for 174 with 2 touchdowns and another 51 added in the receptions in receiving yards. 30-13, like you said, this Bills team was the team, in my opinion, one of the teams that needed to make a move at the deadline. You needed to get a wide receiver for Josh Allen, a weapon. You're not going to get Jalen Waddle, but there was Jacoby Myers. There was a couple other names. Maybe you call the Eagles and maybe you trade for A.J. Brown, see what you can do. But they got gun shy at the deadline, and they went into Miami in that humidity. And how Buffalo's a cold weather team, they're not a warm weather team. So not a good performance by the Bills. I think they'll bounce back when they play in the colder weather, December. But they fall 1.5 games behind the Patriots now with this loss. So tough one for the Bills to swallow in the Bills Mafia.
Yeah. You know, it just shows the parity, I guess, of this league, man. This was probably the game that most people would have guessed the most wrong. Like it, like if you were betting on a point spread or you're looking at a point spread, I mean, boy, did I'm sure Vegas took a beating on this one, man. Anybody that put money on this one, it came out beautiful, beautiful because 13-30. That's certainly not the expectations. Obviously, Buffalo had. Obviously, maybe the Dolphins had some expectations as they went out there and they took care of business. Obviously, had a game plan, and like you said, Devon Achane always loved, or Achan. They go back and forth on his name. I forget the exact pronunciation of his last name, but however he wants to, I'll call him however he wants because I've been a fan of his for quite some time. And chime in, Devon Achane. I'll make sure we get it right. Kenny, we already talked about the Giants and Bears, which gets us right back around to what Patrick was talking about. In his opinion, a great game as the Texans and Jaguars faced off. Jaguars looked like they had this one kind of in the bag, and then the Texans came storming back, man, and not with their starting quarterback, as I'm hearing there's now called for a Davis Mills Mafia that may be down in Houston. Got it done, baby, and got it done in multiple ways. Talk about this game, my friend.
Yeah, Davis Mills. When you talk about backup quarterbacks in the NFL, we forget that Davis Mills was a starter before C.J. Stroud came in. And they went with C.J. Stroud in the draft, and Davis Mills flew under the radar, but he's one of the better backup quarterbacks in this league, and he showed it. Showed it on Sunday. He showed decent numbers against the Broncos last week. You know, he played decent, didn't do anything to really, wow, but did what he had to do.
He didn't burn the toast.
Burn the toast. But Davis Mills, 292, 2 touchdowns. He finds his number one wide receiver, Malik Collins, 7 receptions, 136. Texans put up 36 at home. In a losing effort, got to remember, Jaguars still put up 29. This is a team that's going to be dangerous in December when they get Travis Hunter back. Brian Thomas was out in this game also. Jacoby Myers, their new addition, he only had 41 yards, but he's coming in off a short week, learning a new system. This is going to be an offense to watch out in December, and a team that I think has a good chance of getting into the wild card this year. And a little dangerous, a team that I would be afraid of facing on the offensive side of the ball.
They're a team that has been that way, man. This entire season, it's like you don't know what you're going to get. Sometimes they go out there, they don't look their best, but if they're on, then watch out. The Texans are dangerous. Nico Collins goes off. Davis Mills, I'm just going to say it, man. He put it all out there, man. Not only the 2 touchdowns, but he ran for a touchdown, and I mean, maybe near and dear to your heart, maybe it makes you cringe, Kenny, but diving head first for the pylon on the corner in order to get a touchdown on the board, man, putting it all out there on the line for a team that pushed him to the back, got C.J. Stroud, said, nope, you're not competing. It's C.J. Stroud. That's where we're going. And still went out there. He's prepped. He's ready. He goes out there. He competes, and he gets the best for his team and gets it done, man. Gritty performance for Davis Mills. Like you said, I think it's a guy that we kind of forgot about. Maybe the Jaguars forgot about him too. No, man, another good one. And talking about a good one. Good morning, Keith and Kenny. Some surprises this weekend. Mr. Roy Osborne coming in. Good to see you, my friend. That's a good one to see this morning. A true juicer. I think I can't think of very many episodes in our inaugural season here, Kenny, that I haven't seen Roy Osborne in here. Probably every single one of them. That'd be my guess. And Patrick says that Myers had a nice touchdown. It was called for a penalty. Recalled for a penalty. Sorry. I didn't know if you had.
Yeah.
If the Jaguars can put up 29 on Houston, they can put more than 10 on the Broncos. They can put up more than 10 on the Broncos. The Broncos have to get their offense going before that game, says Mr. Martin. So, yeah, I mean, watch out. There's going to be some big matchups for every team, including the Broncos, moving forward as well. Cardinals versus Seahawks. Kenny, the Seahawks have, I mean, I know that they brought in Sam Darnold and they're like, hey, hopefully he can kind of repeat what he did the year before, with the Minnesota Vikings. I think they thought they had some pieces and parts there. They get a new head coach. You're hoping for the best. I mean, this is the best, man. Look at this, man, as the Seahawks once again and Sam Darnold looking fantastic. Handle business at home, 22-44 or 44-22, however you want to read that score, man, because dominant performance.
Yeah, the Cardinals fall to 3-6, and the Seahawks are dark horse in the NFC. Watch out that they can get home field. This is one of the toughest places to play in the NFL. Darnold, I thought this was a typo, like the Justin Fields effort. Darnold, 10 for 12, 175, 178 and a touchdown. And Jigba, arguably the top receiver in football this year, Jackson Smith and Jigba, 5 for 93. The defense, though, for the Seahawks and the 12th man showed up big time in this game. 5.5 sacks for the defense, 2 fumble recoveries deep in Cardinal territory with difference makers here. And the Seahawks, dangerous team in this NFC to going forward second half of the season. They can get home field. It's going to be a tough place to beat in January. It's going to be cold and damp, and they know how to win at home.
Yeah. It not only 2 fumbles forced, but 2 fumbles recovered for touchdowns as well. A guy that you may remember, Dexter Lawrence, is that right? No,
DeMarcus Lawrence.
DeMarcus Lawrence, right? Sorry.
Yep.
Sorry, I was like, I knew that wasn't right. I was like, that doesn't make sense. DeMarcus Lawrence recovered both of them for touchdowns, man.
Good call out there. Good call.
Yeah, I mean, wow. I mean, just like you said, didn't put it all on Sam Darnold. They did get the running game a little bit going with Zach Charbonnet, which was good for them. Trey McBride had a fantastic outing, though, going for over 100 yards in his losing effort with the Arizona Cardinals. But nonetheless, man, get doubled up in the score, 44-22. And Kenny, the reason I'm stuttering is because I feel like I'm stuttering. The Lions and the Commanders in a 44-22. It's the same score, 2 different teams, but the Lions taking care of business as the Commanders are banged up. And but hey, Dan Campbell says, "Give me the playbook. Give me the big long sheet like Sean Payton has. I can dial this thing up," and he dialed it up. He did, man, in a route, man. Dan Campbell never would have thought, man, he was going to be the guy that was the offensive play caller, maybe of the week.
Yeah, and backtracking just 1 second, Michael Ronskio saying the Seahawks are the number 1 seed right now in the NFC. So keep an eye out for the Seahawks if they can get home field for sure. The Commanders, they had a rough season. Jaden Daniels been banged up most of the year. It looks like they're I don't know if they're not putting in the effort. It just looks like they're outmatched. The talent is is better on the other side of the field. Coming into this season, I questioned the Commanders not making many moves on the defense, and it's starting to show. Lions, this has to be the first time in NFL history you had 2 44-22 scores in the same week. So I'm going to guess there's a good possibility.
That's a tough Yahtzee roll.
Jared Goff on the road on a grass surface has a big game. I always question him on those grass surfaces outdoors in the colder weather. 25 for 37, 320, 3 touchdowns. Jamar Gibbs, they had a 3-man offense here. Jamar Gibbs, 15 carries, 142, 2 touchdowns. And Jameson Williams, 6 for 119 and a touchdown. On a losing effort, Mariota goes 16 for 22, 213, 2 touchdowns. The big story here, in my opinion, Keith, I sent you a little clip yesterday. Carson sent this to me. Good friend Carson's a Lions fan. Deron Payne, defensive tackle for the Commanders. For no reason, Amon-Ra St. Brown is walking by. I mean, I say no reason. Maybe Amon-Ra St. Brown was saying something, but Deron Payne comes in with a right hook and luckily did not hit him in the head because he had his helmet on, but you may be looking at a concussion. Didn't hit him clean, but he took a full Mike Tyson-like swing at this guy at St. Brown. And I want to see what the penalty is going to be for him going forward because, I think Michael did say it. He's somebody said it earlier. Graham said it earlier. Thanks, Graham. Suspended 1 game for striking. Should be more. Go and look at what he did. There's no excuse for that because if he hit him clean, St. Brown's going to be hurt. And that's unacceptable for only 1 game, in my opinion. Go back and look at that clip, Deron Payne hitting St. Brown. And I think you'll all will agree with me. He should have gotten a little harsher penalty.
So Amon St. Brown needs to call up his NBA friends and learn to flop a little bit better, man. With the hit he took, man, if he would have went right down to the ground, we'd be looking at more than 1 game. He took that hit pretty well, even though it didn't land completely square, but uncalled for in the NFL, man. Uncalled for in any game. You don't get to take a swing at a guy. Especially, I mean, you're talking about Amon St. Brown, you know what I mean? You're talking about a premier guy on their team, man. I mean, not that you should be able to take a swing at a non-premier guy, but I mean, potentially taking out a player like that, or even, you know, the thought process that's going in through your head that, you know, that's obviously the idea. Not good at all. Martin obviously is chiming in. He says the Jaguars put up 29 on Houston. They can put up the Broncos have to get their offense going before that game. And then just another comment. Paul says, Martin, yes, we should have traded for an offensive player because our O is offensive, says Paul about his Denver Broncos, my Denver Broncos as well. Stay in that NFC West, though. We'll wrap up the last game before we went to Sunday Night Football. And what a performance on Sunday night. But I'll just say this Rams team, you talked about, you know, taking it to the natural turf, taking it on the road. Sean McVay and that offense is always fairly dynamic when they're at home, but they went into San Francisco and, you know, almost a triple. It wasn't a 44-22, but it's a 42-26 score here as the Rams take care of business in the NFC West and knock off the 49ers. On the road,
Matthew Stafford, 24 for 36, 280, 4 touchdowns, finds 9 different receivers. About this, I'm going to make a bold prediction here, and then I'm going to make a second bold prediction. My first bold prediction is going to be the winner of the NFC West, the Rams or the Seahawks. If it's those two, one of those teams wins that division, they're going to be a Super Bowl representative in the NFC. I just think they're really good division out there. They're beating each other up and they're playing hard football. The Rams look good. Seahawks look good. One of those two teams is going to knock the Eagles and Lions off the pedestal. But here's my other bold prediction. I don't think we see Brock Purdy the rest of the year. Mac Jones, 33 for 39 in a losing effort, 319, 3 touchdowns. Wasn't Mac Jones' fault they lost yesterday. Mr. Christian McCaffrey only had 30 yards rushing. Mac Jones doing enough to be a starting quarterback in this NFL, and I think Purdy doesn't get his job back with performances like this when he is ready to come back.
Yeah, it could be as early as this week, and they have a big decision coming up on what they do. They have paid a pretty good chunk of change to Brock Purdy, and you got Mac Jones sitting there as your backup that's been getting it done now for a few weeks. And like you said, a gritty performance even in a loss. Can't put the loss on him. He got it done. Decisions to be made, and that 49ers team, is one of those teams that seems like they could still be in the mix, the way that the NFC West tends to beat themselves up. Like you said, there's a tough division. I should say they're not putting themselves in position maybe to win outright, but as far as being in position to be in playoff contention, don't count out the 49ers just yet. So they got a big decision coming up.
And then real quick, Keith, on
Yes,
that,
sir.
with the 49ers system, is it the quarterback Purdy? Is it the quarterback Jones? Or is it Shanahan's system that's quarterback friendly that's putting up these numbers for these quarterbacks? Because Mac Jones couldn't do it in New England, couldn't do it in Jacksonville as the backup. He's doing it here as San Francisco, getting that chance.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And sometimes it is just second chances. We just got done talking about Sam Darnold. So I mean, look at the chances that he's had and who he was compared to where he started in this league. Two different quarterbacks that we talk about today versus yesterday. Last one, man. Talking about today versus yesterday. An older Aaron Rodgers, and maybe one that's starting to see his, the wear of a NFL season come into play as November and the calendar changes. Steelers didn't look good, man. Didn't look good at any flick of the switch, man. I was trying to tune into this game. I think I was nodding off as much as I was watching it because the Steelers weren't getting it done, and unfortunately for my Broncos, the Chargers did. The Chargers did in a 25-10 home victory, but the Steelers faltering and the Chargers continue to, keep the pressure on in the AFC West as well.
Yeah, Chargers are going to keep the pressure on here with the only being a game back of the Broncos, but it's more like a half a game because they beat the Broncos earlier in the season. Herbert had a good game, 220, 1 touchdown. Chargers love to run the ball. Kamani Vidal, the third string running back with Hampton and Harris out 25 for 95 with a touchdown. Stick with the run, get about 100 yards on the ground. McConkey had one big catch for 55, 107 total and a touchdown. Steelers, I'm concerned about. I hope there's no Steeler fans in the audience right now. Aaron Rodgers, 41 years old. I was concerned, just like last year. Russell Wilson got off to a decent start, faltered late. Age is going to catch up to you. Steelers are an old team. 16 for 31 and a touchdown, 2 interceptions, and another losing effort. They're only one game up on the Ravens, and they got 2 games against the Ravens left this year.
Yeah, taking sacks. His receivers weren't helping him. There was a few tip passes that were on target he was not happy about. Things just looked clunky as they went all the way across the nation to play on Sunday night. Maybe they get it back on track, but I'm telling you, they better get it on track early because in that division, man, we talked about it. It could be a quick swap as the Baltimore Ravens are hungry and ready and healthy, and they're ready to take over. Last game, we can talk about it a little bit, and then Kenny, we got. I still want to get to your.
We could do blind ranking. I could do
blind ranking. Yeah, we got to get to your. That's I was blanked on the word.
Got a fun one.
Blind ranking on the. I blanked on the blind. But Eagles and Packers, man. It's going to be a game. This is going to be a fun game to watch, man. We talked about some great games that have already happened as we kick off November, but this is a big one, man. On Monday night, the nation, I think, will be tuned in, even if it is just an NFC matchup.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game. Watch for the elements. It's going to be cold. Green Bay on a Monday night, and is Green Bay going to lose 2 games in a row at Lambeau? Being as good as they've been this year, they had a clunker last week against the Panthers. Everybody in the world's going to think the Eagles are going to get it tonight. Watch for the Packers in a run-heavy game. Josh Jacobs being the difference maker here. I'm going to go 24-21 Packers. And on the opposite side of the field, Saquon Barkley has another big game.
I think there's going to be a great matchup, man. Like you said, the snowflakes could be flying. It's certainly going to be cold. It's Lambeau. It's Monday night. It doesn't get more iconic than that. And there's just something I think about, the Packers playing at home Monday night. Like you said, I don't think they can string together a couple losses. I think they do upset the Philadelphia Eagles as well. I think it's going to be a little bit lower scoring, and I think it's going to be a great game. But I see a 17-16 victory for the Packers here, man. Just stay tuned to the very end. It could be a nail biter one way or the other, whether it be a last minute touchdown or a last minute stand. I think that's going to come down to the final few moments and keep us on the edge of our seats. So, Kenny, I've kept the audience and myself on the edge of the seat, man. Love your blind rankings. We're going to finish up with a blind ranking today, man. It's time for everyone to play along. What do we got today, man? Because I'm in the dark.
I got a choice for you because we're running out of time. So I got 2 football ones for you. Do you want to go top 5 cheapest average ticket prices this year, 2025, or do you want to go to most expensive?
I'll go cheapest. I want to get this
know
one.
who the cheapest, where you get bargains to go watch a football game.
Exactly. With everyone out there, we were talking about all 32 teams. Where can we all go that might be just in our backyard and get a great ticket price? Let's hit it, Kenny. What do we got?
These are the 5 cheapest average prices. I'll have the price after after you give me your rankings. So I'm gonna go with the Saints. We're gonna give you the Saints as the first pick here.
Saints have been bad for a while. They're not the worst team, and they don't have an ownership that I think that has a lot of money. I'm gonna go 4 on this one, man. I'll put them. All right, I'm sorry. No, I'm gonna go the opposite sides. 2. I meant it the opposite way. So because the number 1 would be the cheapest, right?
Number 1's going to be the cheapest.
Okay, number 1's the cheapest. I'm going to go them.
The 5th cheapest.
Yep. So this is. I'm going to put them the 2nd cheapest. I'm going to put them fairly inexpensive.
Okay. Second one I'm going to give you is the Browns.
That was going to be my number 1, man. I mean, how can they possibly charge their fans anything? We just got done talking about the last time they had a quarterback was Bernie Kosar, for crying out loud. Yeah, I got to go with the Browns. They got to be cheap.
Let's go Jaguars.
Yeah, see, the Jaguars, I think, still have enough excitement. The problem is with the Jaguars is they're in that Florida market, that is tough to get people to come to games. There's so many other things to do in Florida. I'm gonna like use up all my best rankings. I'm gonna go with number 3 here, buddy.
Colts.
Yeah. Oh boy, this is tough because Jim Irsay, the late great Jim Irsay, was always good to his fans, man. Always good to his fans, and made sure that things were taken care of, regardless of how much they were winning. Kenny, I'm just going to continue to go down the list. Number 4.
Last one on the list is Titans.
Ooh. They should be up there with Cleveland as far as teams that can't charge their fans too much. That's for dang sure. But I'm stuck with the number 5 there, man. It is what it is. I can't rearrange my list now. How'd I do, Kenny?
You know why you didn't do terrible? Because from 1 to 5 is only a $9 difference.
Oh my goodness!
Right. So number 1, you had the Browns. I'm going to read. You had the Browns, but number 1 was the Titans at $64. An average price you can go watch a game at the Titans. So these aren't even the cheapest tickets that you can get at the Titans.
Average price is what?
Average is $64 for the Titans.
Whew.
Bargain. Number 2, you nailed. New Orleans Saints were number 2, and they were $66.63 on the average.
Jeez.
You nailed number 3, the Jaguars. Smaller market, like you said, Florida. Good team, fun team to watch. If you're down in the Florida area, this is a bargain. $71 on the average, get a decent seat for a Jaguars game. Cleveland Browns were number 4. Again, there's only a $9 difference, so it's not much of a difference. So you thought it was Browns number 1. They're number 4 at 73. And then how about this team for a bargain? You had them at number 4, the Indianapolis Colts, 8-2, riding high in the AFC West, and you can go watch a game on the average for $73 out there in Indianapolis.
Oh wow! Wow, Kenny.
Isn't that is something else? When you
Uh,
talk about bargains, right there, the Colts and Jaguars too. All these teams are bargains to go watch an NFL game. But on the average, $73 for a Colts game, and they're 8-2. Michael had one for Tennessee, the Colts number 5. But yes, some cheap ticket prices. So there are still some bargains out there. Next week we'll do most expensive. So tune in for that on games that it's pretty hard to go watch a game on the average for the normal for those people that live a normal household life. Pretty
have a
expensive.
normal existence.
I was supposed to go to the New York Giants 49ers game with Paul a couple weeks ago, and we'll wrap it up. So I know we got final thoughts.
No worries.
Over $300 for the cheapest ticket for a New York Giants game. And we kept saying, why? We're 2-7, and we decided not to go. It was a little too expensive. Parking was going to be $70 alone. 49ers travel well. There was almost 50% 49er fans at the game. So the Giants people that didn't go to the games, they jacked the prices up, sold them to the ticket outlets, and there they are, $300 for the cheap nosebleed seats in Giant Stadium.
Oof. Tough, rough, man. Get the tickets early. I got a question for you, Kenny. You had that top or the bottom cheap or the least expensive tickets in the least expensive towns. Put the records aside. You're going to go into one of these towns, and you're going to enjoy a weekend that includes a football game. Where are you heading, man?
I'm looking at this because it's football season. Give me Cleveland, because you get the Canton, the Pro Football Hall of Fame nearby.
Yep.
With that experience on the weekend, and I can go finish it off on a Sunday afternoon in Cleveland with the dog pound. Give me Cleveland for $73.
Yeah.
For $73. Dog pound might be a little more, but I'll go party with them in the tailgate section, and we'll that would be where I would go. A nice live tailgate on the Morning Juice over there on Sunday morning. That's special at Cleveland.
You gave me all the questions. I had to give you at least one.
Like
I think that's a great call out because, you're right, man. That would be like an all football weekend. Go see Canton, go see the Pro Football Hall of Fame, enjoy whoever your players are, your team is, and then wrap it up with a football game. Doesn't even matter who's playing, man. Just go out there and then enjoy football. And then think about the flights and the hotel and stuff like that. I mean, got to be one of the most affordable football weekends you could possibly have. That would be a fantastic one. That's a good call, Dad. That's a good call. Because everyone could say, oh, Florida and sunny weather. Good call out on the football side of things. Kenny, another fantastic show of the Morning Juice. Like I said, we got that Monday Night Football game. We got our predictions in a little bit earlier. For me, it's a 17-16 victory for the Packers. But some final thoughts for you, man.
Oh no, fun episode. Friends, and they call them the Juicers, are good friends out there. Thank you so much for the support. If you want to see us talk about anything in particular, throw us those ideas out. You can DM me if you're friends with me on Facebook. DM Keith if you're friends. Any ideas, anything you'd like to see us do more of, let us know. We're always open for new ideas, and we will definitely take your ideas and use them. So please share with us anything you want to see us do more of if we're not doing it already. Thank you, Keith. Been an amazing hour with you as always. And once again, everybody, juice it up. I'm out of eggnog, but juice it up.
He's ran dry, man. He's going to have to talk to Santa, see if he's got some more as the holiday season's in full swing. November is here. That's probably the biggest thing right here as football gets really, really important, man. It's only 17 games, but now we're already talking about, what will be next week, week 11. We'll be talking about your football team because we talk all 32 as we go through every single game, except for those bye week teams. Congratulations, those that have a little bit of extra time. Didn't get talked about. We'll talk about you next week for sure. That being said, man, we're going to get out of here, man. And this has been the Morning Juice. Make sure you come back here. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. Check out Rocky Mountain Sports Network for all those, as that's our parent company. And Can't wait to be back for week 11. Can't wait to watch this fantastic Monday Night Football game. Good luck to all of your football teams. Come back next week. Morning Juice. We're out of here. Have a good one, everybody.